welcome back to the Brett Young Sessions. I hope everybody had a great Christmas, and we have a new year right around the corner. And speaking of Christmas, today we're going to be ranking the Motley Crue albums. Now, in this ranking video here, I'm going to do, we're not going to do any live albums, no greatest hits or anything like that. So, if there's maybe an album that I should have put on this list, let me know. I appreciate any kind of comments or feedback. I like to also reply with you guys and chat a little bit in the comment section. So also feel free to subscribe and share this video, and hope you enjoy. I know it's been a while. Things have been really busy with the holidays and stuff, but yeah, I do enjoy making these videos, and I'm back for another one today. So welcome back. Thanks for checking out this video. So a couple things I do want to say before we get to the ranking video. Recently I did a video where I ranked my top 10 Kiss albums. With Kiss having so many studio albums, I just did 10. Yeah, I reached out to a gentleman that I watch on YouTube quite often, channel called Almost Human. He goes by Dr. FUKK. He's a huge, rock and roll metal guy, and music in general, I guess. And yeah, I reached out to him and had him do a video on my Kiss video. So that was kind of cool to watch. I'll actually post a link down in the description if you guys want to check that out. I'll also post a link down in the description to his channel as well. He's a cool guy. I enjoy watching his videos, and yeah, it was kind of cool to see what he thought of my Kiss ranking. Motley Crue is a band that I've been listening to probably since I was in diapers, like literally. And yeah, Motley Crue is a very important band to me. I would probably say it kind of depends on my mood, but Motley Crue is a band that I consider like my second or third favorite band of all time. Tommy Lee, if you want to sit there and kind of think about like the greatest at, who's the greatest lead singer, frontman, who's the greatest drummer, who's the greatest guitar player, I always, in my opinion, I always say that Tommy Lee is probably the best drummer. But Tommy Lee, to me, like his style, his personality, his style of drumming, the way he sounds and drum kit sounds, and just, man, that guy is so fucking awesome. He's up there for sure. In my opinion, my number one drummer. So I did listen to all these albums throughout the last week or so. Yeah, it was kind of cool just to like relive those albums like in their entirety and be like, wow, like this album's better than I thought it was. But as far as we're gonna go from worst to best on this list. So starting off with the worst Motley Crue album, in my opinion, it's got to be their self-titled album, Motley Crue. The one with Albert and Sneal, that's the one. And yeah, this album just it's always just not been good to me. There's a couple songs on there that I enjoy, I guess you could say, but for the most part, this album's just for one, it's way too long. I didn't realize it, but yeah, this album's like over an hour. It's like an hour and 15 minutes long, which is pretty damn long for an album. But man, yeah, I just never liked this album, and I did listen to it in its entirety, gave it a fair shot. And my opinion just never changed. So that's my worst Motley Crue album. If there's anything I can say about that album before we move on to the next one is, I mean, I do like the sound that they did put out in the album, but just like the songs that they put together and stuff just, I don't know, wasn't there. I do like the kind of different tuning that they did and stuff like that. right after that album for me, going on to the second worst Motley Crue album. And I would say this is probably the last of the albums on my ranking that I kind of like would label as ones I don't like. There's only 2 out of the entire catalog for Motley Crue that I consider the ones that I don't listen to and I consider like bad albums. And yeah, that's this next one. That's Generation Swine. I do remember as a kid, because my mom's like a gigantic Motley Crue fan, and I do remember I was very young, and yeah, Vince Neil came back to Motley Crue, like she was super stoked. I don't know if they were on like Good Morning America or something. There was some sort of like morning show. I remember seeing them performing on there.
Their new CD, Generation Swine, just hit the stores, is selling out within minutes. And please welcome, for their first national morning show appearance, Motley Crue.
And yeah, like Vince Neil had red hair and shit, and yeah, I mean there's like Afraid is a good song. I do like that album, but just overall, just not a fan of that album at all. Shout at the Devil 97. It's kind of a cool version. I definitely don't mind it. But yeah, like Glitter, Afraid. I think Flush was one that I remember thinking like, well, okay, this song's better than I remember. But pretty much, I think that might be it on this album that I just don't like any of the songs on this album. Yeah, so Generation Swine. I mean, I'm definitely glad that Vince ended up coming back to the band and everything, but just not a good album, to me. I'm sure to a lot of people too. That's my 2 albums right there, the ones that I consider like ones I don't like by Motley Crue. So Generation Swine and just the self-titled Motley Crue album from '94. Now on to the next one, and that was one that came out, I think there was actually 2 albums that came out on my birthday, if I'm not mistaken. It was Generation Swine that came out on my birthday that year, and this next one, and that's Saints of Los Angeles. Saints of Los Angeles it's an alright album. Like I wouldn't consider it one that I hate, but I was definitely happy that they did come out with another album because it had been quite a while since they came out with new material at this point. And yeah, I think I was like 20 years old when this album came out. But this tour here, which was the Crue Fest tour, which was my first concert ever. But yeah, like it was awesome. We got me and my mom got general admission tickets, and we got there as soon as possible, and we were very lucky to get like the very front. We were like right on that front guardrail, and yeah, it was a freaking amazing experience. I love that show. But as far as the album goes, one of my favorite Motley Crue songs of all time is actually on this album, and that's Motherfucker of the Year. Yeah!
Disrespect in your eye, I can't control myself. I'm like a snake in your drain, taking over your brain, 'cause I can't help myself. Every time I turn my head, I can hear everything that's said. I know they wish I'd go away. Here we go. Hey now, I'm the motherfucker of the year.
Man, that song, I love that. I love that song. Yeah, Just Another Psycho was a cool one when I was listening to this album. What was another one? Oh, Going Out Swinging. I remember that one being a cool one too. I do like that song. So yeah, Saints of Los Angeles. That's my that's the next on my list. All right, so Saints of Los Angeles. Now after that album, I will say I do, for the most part, enjoy this album, and that's New Tattoo.
Like a smile, like an alligator. Move her hips like a generator. All over town like I know your spell.
I'm not sure how the general fans consider this album, but I mean, I think it has some cool songs on it, and I do enjoy it more than Saints of Los Angeles and the other albums that I listed. We'll just go through it real quick. So songs that I do enjoy on this album is Hell on High Heels, Treat Me Like a Dog I Am, Drag Strip Superstar, First Band on the Moon, Punched in the Teeth by Love, that's a cool song, Porno Star, and then White Punks on Dope.
Oh, let's see tonight. Teenage had a race for the nighttime. Spin my cap every high I could find. Wasting time every school in LA. Getting loose, I didn't care what the kids say. We're white punks on dope. Mom and dad moved to Hollywood.
Just off the top of my head, those are songs that I remember like listening to and be like, yeah, this is great songs. So anyways, yeah, Motley Crue New Tattoo. I did have this, well, I mean, I had all the Motley Crue albums in the household just because of my mom. But yeah, I remember always listening to this one off and on CD back in the day. But yeah, New Tattoo. All right, so now this one isn't a studio album. It's kind of like, I said I wasn't going to list greatest hits, but there are a lot of unreleased tracks on this album. And that is Supersonic and Demonic Relics. This album here, you have the songs from Decade of Decadence, which was the greatest hits album. But the thing that makes this album different compared to Decade of Decadence, which Decade of Decadence, I fucking love that album cover. It's so great.
And take a little breathe. Now that I'm much older, don't put that shit on me. Grab it and shake it.
So this album here, Supersonic and Demonic Relics, you have songs from Decade of Decadence, like Primal Scream, Teaser, Angela, Rock and Roll Junkie. But you also have like unreleased tracks, and there's some good ones on here I like. Now there is one song by Motley Crue that I really enjoy, and I can't seem to find on any of these albums. And it came out with like a greatest hits album. I think it was after Generation Swine came out, but it's called A Bitter Pill. Why it's not on any other like albums, you know, like it's just weird. Like I think they could have put it on this. I think it came out right around the same time. But anyways, that's that. So yeah, Primal Scream teaser. Planet Boom was a cool one. Anarchy in the UK, of course, a great one. I noticed the Hooligans Holiday on this one was very long and very different. I definitely enjoyed the original Hooligans Holiday version. But yeah, Rock and Roll Junkie was good. Angela. So yeah, that's that. I know it's kind of not a studio album, but I figured I'd put it on the list here just because of how many unreleased tracks are on this. Now next we're gonna down to the final 5 Motley Crue albums, and it's no surprise that these are the top 5 because I mean these are, you know, the classic Motley Crue albums, but and they're all from the 80s, which is the decade that Motley Crue ruled, you know. Next on my list, this one and my next album I'm about to list were 2 that I listened to fully, because I don't know, I just didn't really care for these albums too much except for like a few songs. I remember listening to this one and the one I'm going to name next, and I was like, wow, these are a little bit better than I remember. So that was kind of cool to listen to them in their entirety again, and then, you know, get to kind of be like, wow, like these are better than I remember. Girls, Girls, Girls. So yeah, Girls, Girls, Girls obviously has Girls, Girls, Girls on it, Dancing on Glass. 5 Years Dead was cool, All in the Name of. But it's hard to say. I would say Primal Scream, and this song on this album is my top 2 favorite Motley Crue songs like of all time, and that's Wild Side. So yeah, Wild Side came off this album. But yeah, it's not a bad album. It's pretty cool. I always just kind of like didn't really care for this album too much in the past, but listening to it again was nice. Girls, Girls, Girls from 1987. And I think it was around this time, or maybe a little bit sooner than this, but my mom actually ran into Tommy Lee at Disneyland around this time. It was before I was even born. It's kind of a cool story. I remember my mom telling me, and I remember, like, you know, just being like super shocked. I was like, what? Like, you met Tommy Lee at Disneyland just like walking by? Like, that's hella crazy. And she said that he was dating, I believe, Heather Locklear at the time. But yeah, he stopped and talked to her for a minute, and I think she kind of just walked off. Heather did, but my mom, yeah, got to shake his hand and stuff back in the prime days. Onto the list here. So next on my list, I put down. It has some really good songs on it, obviously classics, and that's Theater of Pain. It's got Smoking in the Boys Room on it, Louder Than Hell, Keep Your Eye on the Money, Home Sweet Home, great one. Use It or Lose It, Save Our Souls, Raise Your Hands to Rock, and Fight for Your Rights. Some good songs. This is pretty solid album. So yeah, Theater of Pain. I love the album cover. Album cover's great.
Just one more night, and I'm coming on this lonely, windy road. I'm on my way, I'm on my way, home sweet home. Tonight, I'm on my way, I'm on my way, home sweet home. You know that I've seen.
Now, these are all, I would say these three albums are pretty much like from top to bottom, just not perfect albums, but pretty much I feel like. So next on the list, now this one I had to kind of switch around when I made my list. This next one I'm about to list, I think I had the number 2 spot, but after kind of sitting down and thinking about it, I switched it around. So my number 3 is Dr. Feelgood.
I got something to say. She got an alligator back, top hat to match, dressed in black on black. She got a Filipino girl that she claims is a friend. I tell you, boys, you just gotta laugh. Now you.
Feel Good, great album cover, super classic. I actually kind of consider maybe one day getting this as a tattoo. Love the TNT intro. Right, hits you right in the nuts with Dr. Feelgood, like right away. That's a banger song right there. Slice Your Pie I always liked. Kickstart My Heart's great. Yes, Without You, like that's a great song too. Like even though it's kind of like a slower song, man, that's a great song. Same Old Situation's excellent. She Goes Down. Don't Go Away Mad, Just Go Away. Time for Change. Like yeah, this is a super solid album, and like I said, I always had it as my number 2, but nah, I had to switch it to number 3 because this next one I think is just slightly a little bit better. But as far as this Dr. Feelgood era, I love the look of Motley Crue here. That's the thing that like hella bums me out as a fan, is like seeing the look and the sound that these guys had at this time, and then not long after this they got rid of Vince and got John Crosby in there, and then ever since then it's just Motley Crue hasn't been the same. And like their look is excellent in this time era. I wish they would just been able to do like a little bit more with this look and this sound and this style, because they could have been like so much bigger than. I mean, they're already a huge band, obviously like super well known and stuff, but they could have been even more, like greater up there. And it's very disappointing and very sad to like look back on the history and be like, man, like these guys were firing at all cylinders in this time frame. And everyone talks about how great this album sounds, and as far as like production stuff goes, and man, yeah, it just sucks. Like this was like the end of Motley Crue basically, I feel like, as far as like hitting their peak. And it's just a bummer because they could have done a lot more. I guess we have videos in history to look back on and just enjoy it for what it is, I guess. So I just wanted to touch on that because this is my favorite like look of Motley Crue and everything for me. But on to the final two. So, and for me, my number 2, this was my number 3, but like I said, I switched them. And my number 2 is Too Fast for Love. Live Wire, Come On and Dance, Public Enemy #1, Take Me to the Top, Piece of Your Action, Starry Eyes, Too Fast for Love, On With the Show. Man, yeah, this is a cool ass album. I really don't have a whole lot else to say about this album really, except for just it's fucking great. This next one here, which there's only one left, I already know what's coming. My number 1 Motley Crue album of all time is Shout at the Devil.
It has been written that those who have the youth have the future. So come now, children of the beast, be strong and shout at the devil.
Great album cover. Excellent list of songs on here. We got Shout at the Devil, Looks That Kill, Bastard, Helter Skelter, Red Hot, which is Red Hot's another song I freaking love. I'd probably put that like my top 3 Motley Crue songs of all time. Red Hot. We got Too Young to Fall in Love, which is an excellent one. Knock 'Em Dead Kid, 10 Seconds to Love, Danger.
From Hollywood, California, please welcome the bad boys of rock and roll, Motley Crue!
Tell me what you guys think. I'm kind of curious how everybody else feels. The albums I didn't put on here, Carnival of Sins, the live album. Obviously, the Dirt soundtrack I'm not going to put on here just because it's pretty much like a greatest hits album. Decade to Decadence I didn't put on here, but the album that I really enjoy listening to is the Live Entertainment or Death album. It's a live album, but man, I think it's their best live album they put out. They haven't put out a lot, obviously, but yeah, the album's pretty great to listen to. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. I'm curious to hear what you guys' thoughts are. Was there an album on here that you thought should have been higher, or is there an album on here that you feel like should have been lower, or do you guys feel like do you guys feel the opinion's the same? Just let me know. It's cool. It's cool to hear what you guys think, and these are, like I said, my opinions, my thoughts. Yeah, that's it. Hopefully we'll get some more videos out there, some reaction videos maybe. And I know like a lot of people have been sending me some requests for Gavin Dance, which is a reaction video I did like a month or two ago, and yeah, that was a cool experience. I might have to do another one of those. Feel free to like I said, subscribe, share, comment, and yeah, I appreciate everybody that tunes into these videos. It's much appreciated. Yeah, until next time, I'll catch you guys later. Hopefully it won't be as long of a wait.
Must die.